So the wait is finally over. We are back in EU4 with an AI-only battle, this time in the Victorian era. So as with all my AI-only battles that I do here on this channel, if you choose the right countries that are the most successful in this campaign, I will give you a shout-out by the end of the series on that final video of the series. But let's go over the terms, because previously, you know, if you've been following this channel for a while, we did a present-day timeline mod, and that was good. That was different. That was obviously going to be way different from this Victorian era, especially because North America is really, really divided. Obviously, there's no Canada right now. The USA have lost a significant amount of power, and we have Mexico even stronger than before. As well as, you know, Europe, there's no Germany has formed. Austria is looking really powerful. The Ottomans are still kind of in their prime right now. They're going hard. We've got a very strong Egypt as well, just to their south, as well as, let's not forget, here's a big one. The Egyptians are actually a vassal of the Ottomans, so it is a big deal. But like I said, let's go over the terms and the guidelines and the rules, I guess, of how you can pick this AI-only battle. So we're gonna do the same thing with the five continents. If you pick the most dominant country in five, and actually it's not gonna be five choices anymore, because there is no Australia. We have the British obviously colonizing the Australian continent, and they're doing a pretty good job, and more than likely they will be the dominant power there, but you never know. So I will have you choose 6 countries this time around, and I mean, again, it's not going to be that much more difficult. There will be a few continents that will be somewhat difficult, like Africa is still a very hard continent, and now, because there are still a lot of uncolonized lands, technically, for some of these, you know, like Africa, maybe even South America, maybe North America, you don't have to choose a country that starts off in Africa. And that's a big one that I've been kind of trying to debate myself, like, who am I going to pick for Africa? Because anybody, any European, even the USA, could begin to colonize Africa and go up along the Ivory Coast and start to dig deeper and deeper into the Sahara and Sub-Saharan Africa, and there's a lot of terrain here. So just because, you know, Ethiopia starts in Africa doesn't mean you have to pick them. You could pick England to win Africa. Yes, that is a possibility. We will be going over kind of we will be going, what are we going to be doing? I'm sorry, the developments. We'll be looking over developments, force limit for the armies, as well as score, a couple of different categories in the ledger to choose exactly who we think is going to, that's how we're going to determine who won each continent. But anyways, let's go ahead and start to press play. Again, this is going to be drastically different from the previous campaign. We've got Qing here. Qing was extremely powerful. China, now this is before they formed China. Qing is obviously going to be strong, and previously we saw Qing dominate, or China dominate. I don't think we're going to see them dominate as heavily because, first of all, they're not going to have as many strong alliances. There is no Malaysia to the south or Malaya to the south. I mean, these countries are pretty divided, as well as we have Indonesia. There's obviously Europeans colonizing this region. I think France is here somewhere, maybe not. Okay, the Netherlands have really dominated this region. But yeah, no, I mean, Qing or China, they're not going to have the alliances that they had before, as well as Russia is much stronger in this mod. Russia and Qing are about the same level of power, as well as you always got to worry about the Ottomans now that they're a significant power. You know, before with Turkey in the present day timeline, obviously Turkey was strong, but they weren't this strong. I mean, the Ottomans control a lot of power, and they will certainly expand, more than likely, into the Arabian Peninsula, probably into Persia at some point, and possibly trying to take over some of the Europeans like Austria or Prussia. But like I said, you can pick nations that don't technically start off in Africa. I'm not sure if that would be the best strategy, though. I don't know. Let's while everything is playing in the background, I'll choose my picks, my 6 picks. It's not too difficult. I mean, obviously for Australia, unless you want to go crazy. I mean, you never know what's going to happen about these with these EU4 AI only battles. You really never know what's going to happen. But I think I'm going to go with the obvious choice here and say that Britain is going to win Australia. I guess technically it is possible for Britain to colonize this entire region themselves, and then they lose that colony. That would make things really difficult. I'd be surprised, but I think that is a certainly big possibility if Australia forms. So technically you could even pick Australia, which is crazy. It's going to make things difficult, but that's something that I like. I wanted to kind of up the difficulty when predicting which countries are going to win each continent. So I'm going to say, you know what, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Australia is actually going to free themselves at some point from their British overlords, and they will become, you know, the dominant power here in this continent. For Asia, I will pick Qing. For Europe, I will once again pick Russia. I don't know if that's going to be the best idea, though. I don't know. Only because I don't exactly know what's going to happen to Russia. You know, last time I picked Russia, and then they got dominated by China. They won't. I don't think they'll be as dominated. Ooh, Qing's actually dealing with some rebels. Really? Oh my goodness, some very big rebels. A 16 stack, an 18 stack, and a 30 stack. They have the army to swat those guys down. Also, it looks like possibly the British are going to lose quite a bit of their territory in British India. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's something that's very, very exciting about this mod, is that you have a very, very powerful Great Britain, but they automatically go into huge wars from the very start of the timeline. So just because the British are looking really powerful right now, who knows what that's going to look like. They might lose all of their colonies by the end of this campaign. I'm going to try to take this all the way to 2015, modern day. We'll see. I think that'll be about perfect. Last time in the present day timeline AI only battle, which if you want to view, if you haven't already seen it, I will leave a description in the section below. You can check that out. But last time, I think we got about 150 years into the future. I wanted to make it 300 years. This time I'm going to say we'll probably end the series around probably about year 2015. Whenever this series is, yeah, probably maybe 2016, since it's kind of the end of the year right now as of recording this video. So as of my picks, you know what? This is what I'm thinking. It's going to be tough for the USA, and also we should be checking in on alliances right now. So I'm guessing Canada is also declared their independence. Yes, they did. So they're only at war with Great Britain, British Columbia, British Australia, and Hanover. They will probably be able to deal with British Columbia quite easily. I don't know exactly what the British AI is going to try to stop first. Do they go to British India and try to, you know, bring in reinforcements there? Do they try to, you know, stop Cape Colony from getting their independence? Do they go to North America? They're also at war with Mexico. Wow, yeah, the British are in a really, really tough spot right in the very beginning. So I think Mexico will win North America. I'm gonna say Argentina, baby, for South America. For Africa, I've got the Ottomans. I think that they'll eventually either annex the Egyptians, or they'll just, I'm going to say the Ottomans will reach out far enough into African territory for them to dominate this continent. Like I said, I have Russia and Qing for Europe and Asia, and then Australia for Australia. There you go. So we'll see if that works. Feel free to leave your comments in the section below, and like I said, if you pick right, we will give you a shout out by the end of the video. By the end of the series, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and check on these wars. What's going on here? I did check on the force limit size. Right now, like I said, we've got Qing in number 1, 202, but the Russians not too far behind. If Russia has some powerful alliances, they will certainly help. One thing to take note of also is that we have a very undivided Japan. I don't think that that'll last for very long. I think that Japan will unite their islands and eventually probably attack Korea. We've seen that before. Who is Korea? Oh my goodness, look at that. Korea is actually a vassal under Qing. Something to take note of, though, vassals do have liberty desire now, so they will try to break away from their overlord. I don't know why I stumbled so hard there. So Egypt might be able to do the same thing with the Ottomans. Are the Russians? The Russians actually have a nation that they vassalize to the south, but in terms of alliances, nothing too powerful, nothing to compete against Qing. How about Austria? France is at war quick with Switzerland. That's a pretty early war for them. Prussia and Mecklenburg, as well as some of the smaller nations around in modern-day Germany. Who are the British allied to? Nobody right now. We do have, so something important to note, Sweden actually has a personal union over Norway. I know that, you know, EU4 normally starts off with Denmark having a personal union over both Sweden and Norway. This time, Denmark's not even involved in the picture anymore in terms of the Scandinavian countries. It's just Sweden and Norway together. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if we see Denmark get taken over here. If they don't get up some alliances quick, they might get taken over here. Okay, let's, like I said, let's go ahead and check on some of the big wars that are going on. The USA are third place in terms of force limit. Force limit doesn't necessarily mean what they are at the moment, though, so keep that in mind. Then we have the Ottomans and Mexico. Okay, but like I said, let's go ahead and check on the wars. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. So what do we have? We've got so many wars going on. Holy crap. Let's just look at some of the big ones. Revolutionary France. Oh, that's something I need to talk about. This is Revolutionary France. This is not regular France. Just kind of keep that in mind, that might play a big role in this campaign. We've got Naples going after North Africa with Tunisia going after them. Let's see, anything else big? We have a few, obviously, Native Americans. You could pick a Native American if you want. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Never count anybody out. Portugal, let's see, Afghanistan, Punjab. Oh my gosh, so much to keep up with. Bahrain and Naj here. The British are the big focus, though. We've got to watch the British to see if they're losing their wars. Afghanistan's in 2 different wars, actually, right now. Ethiopia, Harar. And so pretty much the only big thing right now is just the entire independence call by most of the British colonies. So Cape Colony, we've got they've got quite a few wars with most of the minor Indian nations. I'm not sure if we're going to see... Whoa, and look at Mexico here in Ireland, sieging out Northern Ireland. Wow, Ulster. That is crazy. So how did that end up happening? Mexico is supporting Cape Colony and Newfoundland, which is a big deal. I think it's very likely that we could see Canada form really soon. They might gain their independence. Let's see, this is a 16 stack. I don't see anything else in terms of British regiments on that island. Might make things pretty interesting. Yes, but Cape Colony might not be doing so well. They're completely sieged out. And since Newfoundland and Cape Colony have both united to make this call for independence, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. We've got the Portuguese also. Portugal is actually doing, I think, the best. Out of all the Europeans in Africa, they might be doing the best. Again, I know this is going to be a very tough campaign to predict, but that's what's going to make it very exciting. Because, we were about a video away in the last present day timeline of having like over 100 people pick right. So that's why I felt like it's okay. I mean, what else am I going to do? It's the Victorian era, but I figured it'd be okay for the rules and the guidelines to be upped a little bit in this one. We got really lucky with Peru winning spoilers. Peru winning South America in the previous campaign. If Brazil won like most people predicted, then yeah, there was going to be like hundreds of commenters that picked right. So yes, including the fact that there's a lot of uncolonized territory, and the Europeans, or just about anybody, it doesn't have to be the Europeans, can go over and go after these regions. It's going to make things a little bit more exciting. Something that I should check on is technology. And oh my gosh, this whole new, forts, yeah, there's technologies here. So before, in the present day mod, everyone was the same technology level. Not anymore. We've got Sub-Saharan Africa, who's a little bit further behind. Obviously, the Native Americans are still kind of Native American tech. But this is going to be really interesting. So most of the world is caught up. It's the Victorian era. I mean, most of the world's pretty much above the 70s, but there are a few regions that might get wiped out potentially. Who knows? It's tough. I want to lean towards Ethiopia possibly doing really good here, but they're also at war. And they're at war with a few nations. They're actually getting sieged out. They're not having the best time of their lives right now. Are the Ottomans at war just yet? No. How's this? Oh my gosh, look at British India. Dang, British India is just getting wiped out. Holy crap. Yeah, so obviously, needless to say, the British are going to lose quite a bit of territory here in the subcontinent of India. They're going to lose a lot. So they were pretty much at war with everybody, every minor nation. Now, will they send over this like 22 stack they have in Cape Colony? Actually, it's only 6 stack. They might have already done that. They might have already sent over a little bit. Possibly. I'm looking out here in the seas. I don't see anything. It doesn't even matter. Even if they do send over, I mean, they're going to have to fight a lot of Indian forces because they'll unite. They'll work together. Actually, let's go ahead and check on the war score. Oh, what was that? Japan at war with one of the minor dates. One of the minor nations off the Japanese mainland. I completely forgot the Qing had control over Korea at the start of this, which is going to give them quite a bit more power. Always want to check in on alliances. Supporting independence for Portuguese Angola. Angola, yeah. Russia is allied to Norway, which is interesting because Ooh. When did Sweden? So Sweden just lost their Norwegian territory. I don't know how. What happened there? Did just Sweden give it up or what? Well, nonetheless, Sweden and Denmark are at war with each other. And they're losing quite heavily to Denmark. Yeah, there's already Danish troops inside of Swedish lands in the south. I mean, there's going to be a battle, though, ultimately, because there's an 18 stack of Sweden. Sweden's just staying inside of Stockholm. How's Mexico doing? Mexico's not doing anything else. What are you doing, Mexico? You're supposed to be helping your brethren. Newfoundland. British Columbia are not having a good time here. But it doesn't matter. Cape Colony's really going to start to pull down Newfoundland. Got Catholic zealots. Let's also look at the religious map mode. Pretty divided, obviously. Very, very divided. It's not too different from kind of modern day religion, though. It's kind of similar, somewhat similar. Coalition, fort level. So there's not that many forts going on currently. Opinion, trade. Okay. Last thing before we end this video, I do want to briefly check in. Ooh, is Brazil allied to Mexico? Yes, they are. Wow, that's a very big alliance. We never once saw that in the present day mod. But Argentina is allied to Peru, which is a good kind of combat against Brazil in South America. USA is going after some of the natives, which is what they're going to have to do. The USA is really going to have to start to gather up territory if they want to catch up. Because Mexico has shown that they can be really, really aggressive. They can be very, very aggressive when going after some lands. Especially to the south, but I don't know if they're going to continue to kind of rush after the Panama Canal. Oh, that's right. Wait a second. Does anyone control Hawaii? Hawaii is here. Awesome. So Mexico's probably going to go after the UPCA, but, ooh, never mind. They might not, because they've got some alliances too. This is really going to drastically change a lot of what we're used to. The map is totally different now. The alliances have completely changed. Did Mexico, or did... Bam, France has just acquired Switzerland as a vassal. That was quick. Look at that. Tuscany grabbing quite a lot of land from Sardinia-Piedmont. Actually, Sardinia-Piedmont lost Sardinia. They can't even be this country anymore. They can't be Sardinian. There's no way, because they don't even... It's Tuscany. Look at that. Tuscany just came out of nowhere. And who they allied to? Austria. That might have been a big reason why they were able to acquire so much land. Austria looks like they also grabbed quite a bit, but I don't know. Bavaria looking powerful, eating away at a few of the smaller nations inside of like kind of modern day German territory. Prussia also the Prussia controlled that land before, I think. We're going to have to get used to this map because everything is drastically different. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this series, oh, and Naples did take away a few provinces from Tunisia. Pretty big pickup there for them as well. Like I said, leave a comment section below telling me your predictions. If you like this series, please consider leaving a like. It helps out tremendously. Thank you guys so much. I know you guys have been waiting for the series for a long time, and I cannot wait to get this started. I've been excited. I've been waiting to see what this world's going to look like in the Victorian era. In about 2015, I think things are going to look really, really cool. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.